Do you know the best way to taper for long distance races? Hello, my name is Ikegami Hideyuki. My personal best time is marathon 2:13:41 and half marathon 63:09. So one of my Japanese customer told me that she wanted me to explain how to run faster from 800 meter to marathon in English too. And I know my English is not perfect, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm 100% sure you can understand what I'm saying at least. Okay, today the topic is the best way to taper for long distance running. So actually, how do you taper for your races? And actually, what is tapering? Tapering is decreasing the training load before important races. And usually tapering period is about 2 weeks. Of course, it's depending on the race, and the basic rule is the shorter your race distance is, the shorter your tapering period is. For example, for 800 meter, for 1500 meter, usually tapering period is about 1 week. And for marathon, it's about 4 weeks. But these 4 weeks are not same. For example, first 2 weeks, you decrease the training load just a little bit, but you still maintain the training load somehow. And then the last 2 weeks, you cut down more. And usually the last 1 week, you do just a light training, and that's it. The reason is, the longer your race distance is, the more you get fatigue in training. For example, 800 meter race, 1500 meter race, what is the specific workout? Specific workout is something like, for example, for 1500 meter, 8 times 400 meter with 2 minutes recovery. And these 400 meter, 1500 meter race pace. Or, for example, for 800 meter runners, you do maybe like something like 3 times 400 meter with 200 meter recovery and 2 to 3 sets. And the pace is 800 meter race pace. Of course, it's a tough workout because the pace is fast, but it does not get you as tired as marathon specific workouts like 30 to 40k fast long run, or 4 times 5k or 3 times 5k with 3 minutes recovery in marathon race pace. These workouts are, of course, the pace is slower, but it gets you more tired. This is the reason why the longer the race distance is, the longer your tapering period is. And one of the biggest mistake people believe is that there is a specific way. There is one best specific tapering way, but there is no specific best tapering way, because the purpose of tapering is only two. First, decrease extra fatigueness before important race. In other words, the first reason is you want to be as fresh as possible before the important race. This is the first reason. And the second reason is to give your body as much as big chances to adapt to the training stimulus in the past. Again, second reason is to give your body chances to adapt your training stimulus in the past. This is the second reason. So training, the important thing of training is not only doing, but only adapting to it. If you do not adapt to the training stimulus in the past, your training and your effort is in vain. So this is very important to adapt your training stimulus. And to adapt to your training stimulus in the past, you need more recovery. But recovery does not mean doing nothing. You still keep training and do something to stay in fit, but you need to decrease your training load in the about the last 2 weeks before important race. And in fact, if you decrease your training load too much, you lose your fitness. So that's why usually you need to do something also in the last 2 weeks. But this kind of workout does not get you stronger. The strength comes from your training stimulus in the past. So let's say you prepare for a marathon and you build up 12 weeks marathon preparation, and then your race results comes from usually from 12 weeks before the marathon race to 2 weeks before the marathon race, and mostly from 12 weeks before the marathon race to 4 weeks before the marathon race. These 2 months training is very important, and tapering gives you extra benefit. But these workouts, the workouts in last 2 weeks, do not help you so much. But you do not want to lose your fitness. That's why you do something a little bit more also in last 2 weeks. So for example, for marathoners, you do 10K marathon race pace run 8 days before the race, and also you do 5K marathon race pace 4 days before the race. These kind of workouts help you to stay in fit, but these workouts do not get you faster or get you stronger. Strength and your race result come from the training before 2 weeks before the race. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people believe there is a specific workout which helps you to run faster at the race day. For example, some people say, if I do 20K fast run 2 weeks before the race, it's good. It's the best way to adjust body for the race. Or if I do 10K marathon race pace 8 days before the race, then it gets me faster or stronger. This kind of idea is wrong. These workouts do not get you faster, but helps you to stay in roots. In other words, not to lose your fitness. But that's it. That's all. So first of all, in these workouts, you should not try to run as fast as possible. You need to run just around the race pace, no matter which event you prepare for. For example, so for marathoner, maybe it's 10K marathon race pace. But for example, if you prepare for 5,000 meter race, maybe you do 5 times 1,000 meter with 1 minute recovery 8 days before the race. Or maybe you are going to do 3,000 meter time trial, or you do 3,000 meter race. And it's okay to run as fast as possible because the distance is short, but it's not necessary, because even if you run as fast as possible, you get nothing. The purpose of this workout is keep you in shape, not to lose your fitness. That's it. So to stay in fitness, you need to run only 95% of the race pace. You do not need to run with race pace. For example, if your 5,000 meter race pace is 3 minutes per K, and then 95% of the race pace is 309 per K. So let's say you do 5 times 1K with 1 minute recovery. It's okay to run with your race pace, in other words 3 minutes per K, but it's also okay to run 305, because the reason of this, the purpose of this workout is not getting you stronger, but not to lose your fitness. And if you do something you didn't do in the past, this is a big problem. It can be a big problem. For example, the fastest pace in your interval workout in the past is 3 minutes per K, and you do suddenly 5 times 1K 255 8 days before the race. It's a big problem, because this kind of workouts get you more tired, get you more fatigued, and then you cannot be as fresh as possible anymore at the race day. And 8 days before the race, it's still okay. But for example, 4 days before the race, maybe you do something. For example, if you prepare for 5,000 meter race, maybe you do something like 3 times 1K, or just a 2,000 meter in 5,000 meter race pace, or 10 times 400 meter, or 8 times 400 meter with 200 meter jogging recovery in 5,000 meter race pace. This is good. It's no problem. But for example, the fastest pace 400 meter interval in the past is, let's say, 70. You repeated this kind of workout consistently. So for example, you did 15 times 400 meter with 200 meter jogging recovery, 70 seconds each 400 meter. In the last, let's say, 4 weeks or 6 weeks, you did it consistently. And then it's okay to run, to make each 400 meter 70 seconds. But it's a big problem to make each 400 meter suddenly 68 or 60 seconds. This is a big problem right before the race, because it gets you more tired. So maximally 70 seconds. And it's still okay to make each 400 meter 72, because again, the purpose of this workout is not getting you faster, but not to lose your fitness. So to maintain your fitness level, you don't need to run faster or as fast as before. You can run just a little bit slower than the past or race pace. So these workouts you should do run in more relaxed way. And that's it. And then you do not lose your fitness. And usually the longer distance, it's not a big problem, because the race pace is already slow. For example, how fast can you run marathon? So let's say you are able to run marathon 3 hours 30 minutes. Then the race pace is approximately 5 minutes per K. And for most amateur runners, 5 minutes per K pace is not so fast. It's difficult to maintain 5 minutes per K pace to the end. But the pace itself is not so fast. So that's why this is not a big problem. It's easy to run 5K 25 minutes. It's not difficult for most amateur runners. But for example, if you prepare for 5,000 meter race, then the race pace itself is already fast. So if you run faster than race pace, it's gonna be a big problem. It gets you more tired, and you cannot be as fresh as possible at the race day anymore. That's not good for your body. So some people think tapering is only decreasing mileage, but actually it's not the point. The main purpose of tapering is get you as fresh as possible at the race day, and also gives you the biggest chance to adapt the training stimulus in the past. And to achieve these things, you need to decrease your training load. So it's also wrong that you decrease your mileage and increase the intensity. It's also a big mistake, because even if you decrease mileage, if you increase the intensity, then you cannot decrease the training load. In any cases, you need to decrease your training load in the whole training load. So if you decrease your mileage and maintain the intensity, then you can decrease the whole training load. Or you just maintain training mileage volume, and then you cut down some intensities, and then you can also decrease the training load. It's also okay, but generally it's good to decrease the mileage and maintain training intensity somehow, or you decrease both just a little bit. So you decrease mileage and also you decrease the intensity a little bit. So this is the best way to taper for your long distance races, or I might say this is the only way to taper for long distance races, because please do not forget, tapering does not get you stronger. The tapering gets you fresher, or as fresh as possible at the race day, and helps you to adapt your training stimulus in the past. But tapering does not get you stronger or faster. So that's why there's no specific special workout which can get you stronger or get you more prepared for the next race. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'd be back again for the next video. See you for now.